What's up, wealth builders? Hey, welcome back to this week's Zoom call, this week's live call. If you're watching out on YouTube or wherever you're taking this in, whether you're on the website, hey, we want to welcome you back to this week's live call. We're gonna do a little Q&A. So we've got some questions that we're gonna answer for you guys in the realm of real estate investing and wholesaling. If you've been watching from the past weeks, you know that we have been hot and heavy talking about mindset when it comes down to your real estate investing goals and career. This week, we're going to do some Q&A. We're going to answer some questions that you guys have been submitting online. If you have questions that you need answers to, definitely you want to make sure that you're dropping comments on this YouTube video, but also that you go and join our Facebook group where you can get as much help as you can get. I mean, you can get help on pretty much anything in the Facebook group, whether it be directly from us answering a question or from another member in the group answering a question that they've already with experience that they've already had. If you're tuning in on this video, we got a lot of questions that we're going to answer you guys, all the way down to one that asked if they can get their deal done before the end of February. So stick around to the end because we're going to answer that question for anyone who may be wondering, hey, can I get my first deal done by the end of February? But
especially with this already being mid-month. I mean, that's,
Yeah, but hold on now. We're going to get to that at the end.
I know.
Gotta keep y'all watching, you know what I mean? The first thing that we're going to talk about, though, is when it comes down to real estate investing is going to be mentoring. We see a lot of questions online about mentoring, and we see a lot of bad advice that goes out when it comes down to mentoring as well. The question that we see the most is, where can I get mentorship, and should I pay for mentorship? And you always see the same answers. People say anybody charging for mentorship, don't do it because they're a scam or they must be whatever. Right? There's so many negative people out there. And then the answer that they give people is, you can learn it all on YouTube. Absolutely true, right? You're watching us right now on YouTube, and you can learn everything that you need to know about real estate investing right here on this channel and in that Facebook group, right? You can learn everything for 100% for free. You can take the time to digest all of the information that you need to know about wholesaling, about real estate, about writing contracts, about negotiation, about pricing properties, about pricing repairs. You can watch all of the videos that YouTube has to offer on those subjects and more, but it would take you time.
I mean,
okay.
And the thing is, I mean, we did that.
Yep.
And because we did that, it took us so much longer
to get our first deal done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had a mentor and somebody there telling us to do this and then do this. And so we can actually go to and ask a specific question and get immediate feedback, we would have moved a lot faster. So do you want to 10x it, or are you okay with turtle speed? And not teenage ninja ninja turtle speed, but like regular turtle speed. So if you're okay with that, then the YouTube Versity is great.
Yep.
However, if you are trying to turbo it and you want to go super fast, then a mentor is definitely needed. It's going to definitely help you move faster, help 100%. You answer those questions that you need. I mean, think about how many times we had questions and we had to scroll through how many videos and how many people do we have to try to figure out, well, who do we go to? And that one video I may have seen like 2 months ago, I think it may have said something, and the thing, so it's faster when you have a mentor. Is it possible to do it through YouTube and watching 100 different gurus or the same person? Or it's possible. It's for sure possible. I completely disagree with the people on all those Facebook groups that tell you, oh, anybody charging is a scam. The thing is why wouldn't they charge? A good mentor would charge you.
And at the end of the day, your mentor got a life of their own. They got stuff that they're doing. So it's only right that they charge for the information that they're giving. But the thing that, like Vonnie was saying, the thing that you got to remember is that it's gonna cost you time, right? Anything that you choose to do for free is gonna cost you more time to do it.
Every time.
It's like if you're a person who work on cars and you like to change your own oil, you may save some money doing that yourself because you're gonna have to pay for the labor, but you have to conduct the labor. So in the end, was it cheaper for me to pay someone to do that task than I can drive up to the little place and get my oil changed in 20 minutes where it may take me half the day, so what is more valuable to me? If you want to spend the time, binge watching, and if you have the time, like if you got all day to sit there and watch, 32 hours worth of YouTube videos to learn what it is you need to do, or to start to understand what it is you need to do, because then you still got a lot more stuff that you got to learn. You're going to watch 10 videos just about writing contracts, and then you're going to watch another 30 or 50 videos about how to price properties.
And then don't forget about the times that it's going to take you to figure out which person you should listen to, because each person has a different way of going about it. And not saying that one way is a wrong way and the other way is the right way. It's just everybody has their own way and their own process of doing it. Some will tell you, get your buyer's list up if you're wholesaling. Another one will tell you, get your leads and the buyers will come. And neither strategy is wrong.
Nope.
But which way works best for you is the question. One person is going to say be upfront and assertive. Another person is going to say, oh, well, just take it easy and talk to them. It's just
somebody's going to tell you to take all this time to build rapport, which is nothing wrong with that, but it takes time to build a rapport.
Time.
I mean, I believe in building rapport, yes, but you don't want to do anything that's going to make it harder for you to move to do multiple deals at a time, because really the key is going to be doing volume. Volume is going to be
finding something that's going to work for you. Others you have to keep in mind that somebody else is going to tell you make 1,000 phone calls, another person is going to tell you run $1,000 worth of ads, and neither is wrong. But which one are you willing to do? If you have no money and you aren't willing to spend some money in it, you're going to be making those phone calls. If you have a little bit of money that you're willing to put towards it, then maybe either pay somebody to make those phone calls, or you can pay for running ads. So that you don't have to make the
or both. I mean, really, you're going to need both either way it go, because even if you run ads, somebody's got to answer the call when the person calls back.
But I'm talking about like the cold call. The initial reach. So it's multiple different ways. YouTube University will help you with that, but it's a plethora of information that you're going to have to sift through to find the person that you want to listen to find the method that you want to do. And each person has a different customer that they enjoy talking to. One person is going to enjoy doing the MLS deals, and they're going to tell you this is the best thing since sliced bread. Then another person's going to tell you retired landlords is the best thing. Another person's going to tell you probates are the best thing. And honestly, they're all good. It just really depends on
what you want to do.
What you want to do. So
realistically,
but getting a mentor, if you are ready to move fast, get a mentor. Go through and you want to talk to the mentor and make sure that mentor, with how they go about things, works for you and who you are. Because you don't want to get the mentor that's going to tell you to be ruthless. And you're not a ruthless person. Now you're going to feel like, oh, well, that every time I do it that way, it just doesn't even feel right, because it ain't right. It don't feel right because it ain't right. So I would definitely say get a mentor, but definitely do your homework when you do get a mentor. You don't have to just pick up the first person that said, who's looking for a mentor, and because you said me, you just went ahead with that person. Or interested on the Facebook group. So definitely do your homework. Make sure that person's strategy and who that person is meshes with who you are. That was a lot.
No, I mean, it was a good answer, though. Good answer. We don't move to the next question, but remember, get a mentor. The next question: can realtors and wholesalers work together, and how? It says, any wholesalers experience working with realtors, and what scenario has this been beneficial for you, and have you had any bad experiences with it? The simple answer to that is yes, you can work with realtors. We work with realtors all the time. The thing is, you have to be willing to educate the realtor on what you're looking for. If you so that's really the big key. You want to find realtors that are already investor friendly, which there are a lot of them. If you go to any networking event, you're guaranteed to find 2 to 3 realtors at that event that are also either investors themselves or they're looking for investor clients. And at the end of the day, you just need to be able to tell them what you're looking for and go from there. You can work with pretty much anybody. I say there's an opportunity in every person that you come across, because you really don't know who God has placed in front of you that is meant to deliver a blessing or a word to you. So don't cut off someone because they have the title of realtor attached to their name.
And if you're a realtor, don't be quick to cut off the person that says they're an investor
or a wholesaler. Yep.
The thing is that a realtor might have a pocket listing. And what that means, that's a listing that sometimes they don't feel like, sometimes certain realtors don't list every single thing onto the MLS. Some properties, they call it pocket listings, and they would prefer not to put that on the market. And it might be because their brand might be Nicer Homes, but they came across this listing. It needs work. It's an investor type of property, and maybe their brokerage doesn't like to list those types, right? So what they'll do is they'll call it a pocket listing, which means it's great for you as an investor because it's usually what you would call it investor special or handyman special.
And it's not on the market.
It's not on the market.
Pocket listing means that they have not put it on the market.
Yes. So working with a realtor will definitely get you will definitely possibly get you that pocket listing.
Yeah.
And if you're an investor, perfect. If you're a wholesaler, still perfect, because they might have the pocket listing, but they might not have the buyers, and you can partner with them.
Or vice versa. Sometimes the realtor has the buyer.
Yep.
One of our one deal that we did was with a friend of ours who is a realtor, and her husband's a contractor, and they do the work and they find the properties for you. We wholesale properties to her, and it's a great scenario. She's a realtor. She, not that she can't find properties, but she's also listing properties. She has a lot of stuff that she's already doing. So us finding properties for her clients is a no brainer for both sides. So they can help you find buyers.
So if we have a deal that we're not going to utilize a flip or anything, we just want to go ahead and wholesale it, I mean, we're definitely going to shoot it out to her, see if she has any clients that she's working with that's looking for a property to flip, since they do the flip. Yeah. So her husband does all the flip and builds, and she does the design and listings. So it's a really great partner. It's a really great duo. So if you are into something like that, let us know. Make sure you let us know in the comments, because we can definitely have a whole conversation about that as well, about how to pair up with your partner.
And there's a lot of other stuff that realtor can really be valuable for you as an investor or a wholesaler. Market insights and valuation, they can help you with pulling comps. They can help you understand what properties are moving in a certain area, because they are the experts at that. They are the experts at telling you, being able to accurately tell you what is selling after new on market in an area. So they can help you with that, and you want to utilize that information that they have. Like Vonnie said, off market deals, but then joint ventures too. Like you'd be surprised how many realtors already know investors who may be willing to do some type of a joint venture as well. So don't be afraid to ask those type of questions and networking, and just become friends with the people that are going to be in your top 10 list.
The thing is that there's so many deals out there. There's relatively, I mean, you could sit here and say that you're having to compete, but you're really not. You're typically in two different markets, two different strategies.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. Like, we can partner effectively with a realtor.
Yeah. Now, there are some things to keep in mind with a realtor. One, if you get a property from a realtor, if it's already on market and you can't negotiate a lower price, it's probably not going to be a deal. But if you can find properties that are not on market, pocket listings, like Vonnie said, that they have not put on the market yet, that you can get at a investor price, then you can make those into deals. What you don't want though is the property that's already $30,000 overpriced, and you get it on a contract for the exact same amount that is listed online,
$5,000 less.
Yeah, because you know, not saying that you can't find a buyer for that, but a lot of buyers are gonna feel like, well, I could just go and make an offer if you got it, for that. But if you could get it lower, and they're willing to do that, that could work for you.
Expired listings are good place. If somebody had, you can have a realtor put you on the expired listing, where it'll automatically send you out an email of all the expireds or a text or however they have it set up, and then you can just receive it if you want to contact them. Obviously, it's expired, so they didn't sell it, but they were looking to sell it. Those are always good ways to work with realtors as well.
And then, like we always like to give you some word in there. Ecclesiastes 4 verse 9, chapter 4 verse 9. In a nutshell, says that it's better for two. Well, not in a nutshell. It says two are better than one because they have a good return for their labor. And this is the ideal of collaboration. Two is better than one. God in the beginning saw that it wasn't good for Adam to be alone. He made Eve. So two is better than one, obviously. On the ark, they didn't just bring a solo animal of any type. It was two is better than one. It's always better to have more than just one person. And one of the things that's great for me and Bunny is that it's two of us. And it makes tasks so much easier because it's two of us. So, again, you never know what you may find as opportunity, whether it be the realtor. I don't care if it's the title attorney. I don't care if it's the title company, because title companies, they know investors. They know people who are already looking to purchase property. They can tell you, oh yeah, we just closed the deal for so-and-so over in that area, and it was a real teardown. And those are good people to talk to and collaborate with. Anyone that is a professional in their arena, the weed embankment person that goes out and sprays for weeds, may know people who are moving because they cancel service or they move service. So you can find deals in a number of ways. I mean, we had a mailman that we were going to get information from. We've gone to the fire department and gotten information. So don't count anyone out.
I mean, delivery people. If we see a delivery driver, we might give them a card and let them know, hey, we also do pay finder's fees for make them a bird dog, essentially, and let us know, because they're going to be, sorry guys, they're going to be the ones who are going to be able to tell you what houses that they see that are already vacant, or they're already driving for dollars. They're just not calling it that. But if they see a vacant house, they see a lot, they know it, they can easily put it in. They can easily hit you up, let you know, send you a text with the address, and then you can pay them a finder's fee if you get it on a contract. Don't count anybody out. Anybody that's driving around, I don't care if it's a Uber driver, I don't care if it's a delivery person, I don't care if it's the mailman, I don't care if you find a cop that's willing to do it. You give them your card, because they're already in those neighborhoods, and a cop is already going to know. We didn't have, remember, if we were in South Carolina and we had this cop say, oh, well, there's the whole block over here. And it turned into something different. And it was like, oh, the cop just let us know that over here is all vacant,
Because we were suspiciously riding around driving for dollars, because every time we go on vacation, we can't help ourselves. But at least one of them days, we're going to get out for about 4 hours and drive for dollars.
Yeah, so, for sure. Just to see if that's an area that we may or may not want to invest in.
Yeah, I mean, if we're already going on vacation, I mean, we've driven around so much in Orlando, but we know there's a place that we want to invest in, because we spend so much time down in that area over the years.
Yeah, we just spent. At one point, it was like every time we went on vacation, it was Orlando. So
the next question has to do with AI, and I know a lot of people ask that question. AI.
I love AI.
Yeah. So it was pretty much, has anyone used AI driving for dollars for lead or any other AI programs? And the answer is yes. We use AI for a number of different reasons. If you're a person who is going to be setting up your own website, or maybe you're creating your own social media page for your real estate investing business, and you don't know how to write or how to set up those things, AI can definitely help you with that.
Well, and here's the thing: if you are not using AI in 2024,
yeah, you're gonna be behind the power curve.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Let me get close. What are you doing?
You know, and that goes back to what we said in a previous week where we talked about, you know, the person who sticks around is the person who's able to change with the time.
Pivoting.
And if you are not going to be willing to be the person that pivots with the time, you're going to be a dinosaur that gets extinct.
Yep. You know how they always talk about, you know, as you get older and they're like, oh, it's just you see old technology. Think about the old phones and stuff, and like, oh, that's a dinosaur. It didn't do anything. Well,
yeah.
You don't want to become that old, outdated dinosaur technology, not using technology. You want to utilize it at its best. You want to utilize it. You want to automate everything that you can automate. What's that saying? So it does it in spite of you, despite of you.
Mm-hmm.
So that even when you aren't at your best, the artificial intelligence will be, because it's going to do whatever you told it to do 2 months ago, and it's just going to keep doing it until you tell it to stop.
Yeah.
So if you told it to send emails out to the list every week, twice a week, it's going to do that every week, twice a week. If you set it up to make phone calls, there's AIs to do all kind of things. You can have AI make phone calls. You can have AI send out texts. You can have them send out emails. You can have it, I mean, you name it, it probably is an AI out there to do it. If you need, like Ken just said, if you need to set up your website and you can't think of a good description, there's Chat GPT to help you with each part of your website. Like you want to put a little make a form up, it'll help you make a form up. You know, so if you aren't utilizing those things, that is your assistant in your pocket. Okay, and it's not expensive.
And not only that, but that's the automation. You know, everybody's talking about they want to get more automation in their business. There's no more of an automated task than the AI. The AI can be your website writer, it could be your editor, it could be your blog writer. It can be a proofreader. You know, when we record these videos, we take the audio and we can have the audio turned into blog posts without us having to go and write a blog post. Why do I need to write the blog post when I already said the words to you guys? I'm gonna take that information and I'm gonna turn it into a blog post. You know, I can use AI to help me make content for turning the stuff that we're already seeing into Facebook posts, into Twitter posts, so that we can share the information with more people. I can have it give me some more topics to think about, talking about, or to share with you guys. I can use it to do research. It'll search the internet nowadays. So if you need to figure out the numbers for an area, you could definitely get onto AI and ask it the questions that you need to know and have it go in and gather the information for you. It can do equations. It can help you with if you need to look at a city code to figure out what can go in an area, you can copy and paste that code, or you can take the URL and put it into Chat GPT and have it read the code for you and explain it to you in plain simple English that's easy to understand, so you don't have to try to decipher what these laws are saying, because you all know that the laws are not written in plain English because it's not meant for you to understand. It's meant for you to go to school to learn how to understand it. That's why you have all of these things that you have, because the laws are written in such complex language. But AI can help you with that. It can solve that problem for you. It can get rid of that problem for you. So there are reasons to use AI, and I can definitely see how using AI for driving for dollars would be easy, great thing to do too. We actually do use a program that uses AI. It takes information from the market and feeds it into an AI system, and then it spits out a number that associates how good of a prospect the property could be. So there are a lot of different benefits currently and that are coming that revolve around artificial intelligence. So actually, AI cold callers, believe it or not.
And I mentioned that.
we'll tell you guys about that more coming up. But AI cold callers that can get better over time.
Can have a conversation with you, and it does not sound like it's AI speaking to you. Okay, it sounds like a person, and it's just getting better and better and better. So there's no reason why in today's time that we are not utilizing all of our resources at its fullest. Okay, every day if you can just spend a little bit of time figuring out how to automate one more task, even if it took you a week to figure it out, right? And I'm just saying, if you had to figure it out on your own and you never had to mess with it really again, would that not be worth it?
It would. It would. And for anybody who's curious to know how can you get started using some AI, go check out ChatGPT. You can use ChatGPT 3.5 is actually pretty good, but if you want to step your game up, you can pay the $20 a month and get the pro account, which is worth it in my opinion. We both pay for it. We probably should just pay for a team account at this point. Well, actually, no, it's cheaper. It's cheaper for us to have the $20 a month than the $25 for a team account. But with a team account, we'd be able to share stuff without having to share. So we may have to talk about that. But yeah, because I mean, like, it's really good for being able to decipher through a lot of information. You know, if you got something long to read, you can just put it in there, and
I've seen you put
a whole book in it if you want to.
You can put a whole PDF and then tell it summarize it.
Give
me the highlights of it.
You get,
honestly, hold on. You know what? We're using the AI right now on our Zoom.
Oh yeah, there is an AI right now transcribing the call as we're having it right now. So we're recording it. We're gonna get a transcription of it,
highlights even,
and we can easily pull the audio out and use the audio for the podcast or for social media posts, whatever it is that we decide we want to use it for.
It literally gives us the highlights of the call. So when we're doing coaching calls, we'll get
you will also get a copy of the highlights. So you could go back through, like if we give you action items, it'll give us the action items all called out, so that we don't have to remember this. Because again, this is live. You know, we're recording the words that are coming out of our mouths as we're thinking. Bunny has not even seen these questions.
No.
These are questions that I compiled from our various accounts, but this is live, so it's great that we have this AI that can pull that transcript for us. And like I said, we'll take that information and go and put it into a different AI and have it create a blog post that we can then put on our website, so that anyone else who has a similar question to a question that you have, they can get that answer too. So it is a great resource to use. And again, if you're not using AI, you're missing out. And if you guys want us to give you some more information on what AIs we like and how we use them, drop a comment and let us know, and we'll definitely get that video made for you as well.
Yeah, for sure. What's the next question?
All right, this one they wrote a lot. This is a wholesaler, and they just needed some advice. It says, if you use sticky notes, what message has worked for you? We have used sticky notes. Let me see. I think he's talking about with driving for dollars. What's your go-to strategy? Cold calling, SMS blasting, which is text message. Driving for dollars or reverse driving for dollars. And are there any of these a waste of time? All right, so let's start with the beginning. What strategies are go-to? Cold calling, SMS blasting, driving for dollars, or reverse driving for dollars. We actually like all of these for different scenarios and different reasons. It really just depends. If we're talking about doing probate leads, I'm gonna go with SMS blast and cold calling top of the list, because you're talking about a family that may have had a death in the family. It just depends if you want to drive up and come knocking on their door versus just giving them a phone call or sending them a text message.
The thing is that you drive up and knock on what door? The person that died door?
Or the family members door.
It's a good possibility that nobody's there. And it's vacant now, or so really with that, I would say letters are good. I don't mind doing one-off letters. We're not the send 1,000 letters and huge on the market of letters. But I will send a postcard on a one-off. I think that's good. I think, like you said, a text message.
You just did that. You just did that with the one in our local market.
I'll just see one and I'll do a one-off, send a little quick postcard. No biggie. If I love it, I might even just go ahead and send a postcard in a contract.
Yeah.
Or like, so it really just kind of depends on it. But we drove past one, just kind of give you guys a quick little story time on it. We were just kind of driving for dollars, went down the street. We haven't been down before. Found this little neighborhood, and it definitely, the house looked like a probate house, looked like somebody had passed away or no longer living there for a while. So I started to, in the car, deep dive into it a little bit. Found out that the husband had died years ago, and then the wife just recently died. They were both pretty elderly people. So with that being said, after finding that they did pass away, now I know, okay, well, now the house has just been sitting there, and it looked like it's been just sitting there, and it looks like they might pay for somebody to come out maybe and cut the grass and kind of keep the ish, like just the grass type thing cut, but it looks like nobody is in the area taking care of it.
No one's definitely living in it.
Yeah, so sending a postcard means that it might be getting forwarded, the mail might be getting forwarded because the mailbox wasn't full. So it's possible that the mail could be getting forwarded to the family members. So that's a good place. And then probably skip trace some of the family members and see who I can get.
Yep. That's one reason to use, mail and all of that. When it comes down to driving for dollars and reverse driving for dollars. So driving for dollars happens to be one of my favorite ways to find deals in our local market. And like we said earlier, even when we're on vacation, like we drive around the area looking for deals because now we have an eyes on for the area, and we can say, okay, we like this area, we don't like this area, or we want to do more research on this area. So driving for dollars is going to be one of my favorite ways to find properties. Reverse driving for dollars, I'm assuming you're referring to like using Google Maps and stuff to drive for dollars, where you're virtually driving for dollars. We like that as well. That's something that you can even have your teenagers do if they're not driving age. You can have them virtually drive for dollars. The only thing with virtual driving for dollars is that you have to look to see what year the pictures came out, because you could be looking at a very old picture and the house doesn't currently look like that.
But the fun part is that when you see the house on Google and then you say, oh, this picture was from 2018 and this one was 2019, 2021.
Yep. You can see the progression.
Sometimes you can see the neighborhood change. You can go from no neighbor to all of a sudden they built this new house next to it and the house still looks like trash. Or you can see the house progressively deteriorate over the years. And I love finding those because they're always fun to go back through the maps and like, oh, this house, okay, it wasn't too bad. Now it's bad. Now it's bad.
Searching property. Like she would get lost. Searching a property. Like she's looking at every detail. She done found your sister's cousins, aunt, mother, daughter, whoever.
I have.
Like Bunny will find you. She gonna find you.
Yeah.
You can run and tell that. Like,
right. Hide your kids.
Okay.
Hide your kids.
Yep. She gonna find you.
Yeah. It's just, and don't be on Facebook because I might message you on Facebook. So that's a little pocket secret. Most people don't do that. Most people will not look for somebody on Facebook, but if you answer me on Facebook, now I can call you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't need a number.
What she means by call you is like, I can call you on Facebook. It's going to ring your phone like a phone call.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So definitely reverse, looking in reverse. Then the other part of that question was, do we use sticky notes? Yeah, we have used sticky notes when we go out driving for dollars.
You mean writing it down?
No, like a sticky note and putting it on the door. We've done that.
Oh, yeah.
Sticky notes is the cheap way to get those. Like you can pay for the pre-made ones and you can just stick them on the door and have all your information on them. But a sticky note, we use sticky notes. Fine.
Oh, I got a funny story on that.
Oh.
So you remember our friend that we had we had
first
started. We first started wholesaling, and this is like 2018. It had to be.
Yeah, 2018, 2019.
And we were all excited, and we met up with somebody, and he was wholesaling. He was new too. And we were like trying to like formulate this team bond. I don't know what we were exactly, but it was great.
Well, we were
connecting. We were networking. We were in the same area. We lived in the same area, so it was really easy to connect with them. And they were, instead of using sticky notes, they were putting in the thumbtacks.
Yeah.
They were thumbtacking the doors. So they weren't using sticky notes. They were literally pushing holes into people's doors to put their little note of paper up, and they were tacking it. And I mean, and you got to think they had to be banging on this doors, plural, okay? Because this was their strategy, was like they were putting up the notes until somebody informed them that they put hole in their door. Yep. And they didn't even think of it. And they're just like, oh, I didn't even know, and da 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 da. And it's like, see, that's being memorable in a bad way.
Yeah.
But that was just a story, y'all. But don't do that. Use a sticky note if you're gonna do it. Something that's not gonna mess up anybody's you don't want to damage anything. You got another one?
Yeah, they had a lot. Yeah. So additionally, any insight on reaching out to probates? Should I call, text, or knock on the door? We already answered that. Pre-foreclosures, can I find it under list pending on the county site? Pre-foreclosures you can find, it depends on the county and where they put it.
So they have to put it out with some kind of, they have to notify the person, and then a lot of times it's publicly notified. So yeah, you definitely can get in contact with those people, but you have to also keep in mind those people are in a lot of stress. They may not answer the call to somebody that they don't know who's calling them, because they might already be ducking phone calls because they're already in foreclosure or pre-foreclosure.
So that's a time when door knocking may not be a bad thing, but nowadays you got to be careful with the door knocking. I don't know if you guys watch much news, but there's all kinds of crazy stuff going on. So
send them a message.
Cautious with the door knocking.
Send them a mailer.
Facebook trick works all the time.
Yeah, Facebook is great.
And you got so many different social sites now. You find them on TikTok, Instagram, whatever.
Facebook and Instagram, I would say, because more so than TikTok, because you can't hit people up and tell your friends on TikTok, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But on Facebook, I can still find you, send you a message, and if you accept my message, then I can call you. And I believe Instagram is the same way. But people usually use their real names more on Facebook than they do on Instagram. Everybody has these aliases on Instagram more so than Facebook, and definitely on TikTok. Nobody's who they say they are on there. Yeah. So just keep that in mind. And again, with foreclosures, we have door knock foreclosures. Okay.
Yeah.
Look, we've done a lot. So.
But this, I mean, she's talking about pre-COVID. So this is pre-2022 when we were door knocking. Now again.
Yeah, it was. That had to be what, 2019?
Something like that.
So 2019, we did door knock. And we I remember one guy in particular. Remember, he was a little bit more stern, and that he didn't want no help. And we were coming with, hey, let me help you save your house. Okay, like we were coming with the soft sell.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to hit that. He
wasn't going to take no paperwork. And let me explain. I had already done some research on the house, and this wasn't his first go around being in foreclosure. He had already been in foreclosure once before. And the thing is most people that go through foreclosure, if they get out the first time, they probably going to get back in. $20 payment they put her on or something crazy. It was so low.
Yeah, but she had a lot of issues that happened. But the only reason why we were able to get in contact with her was because we popped up at her house because she wouldn't answer the phone.
Yeah.
So it's not a necessarily, it's not my favorite way.
No.
Door knocking is definitely not, even when it comes down to distressed properties, like I'm not really trying to door knock.
Now, if I see you out,
I may pull up and ask you a question.
Yeah, but to just run up and start knocking on people's doors all uninvited. Yeah. I don't think I'm 100% comfortable in today.
We reserve that for people that we've already tried to reach out to you a few times,
or you're at least somebody I know and sent us to you.
Yeah.
And I done tried. I'm like, oh, I was just in the area. I don't want to impose. Here's my information. I was just a blah 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 blah. Yep. This was, you give them your spill. You give them what you were thinking about, and seeing if you could set up another time. If now wasn't a good time for you, if they want to talk about it. But usually with people like that, we usually prefer, if you're a referral, we prefer you to give us their number and possibly contact and bridge that contact depending on the situation. We had that with a friend. We had a friend who was referring us to like a ex-mother-in-law, I think it was.
Yes.
And in that situation, it was a little bit different. So
yeah, we did door knock them.
We did door knock her every time she went
at their other house.
Yeah, at their actual house they were living at.
Because again, Sherlock Bunny over here found all the information on them.
Yeah, I don't have a problem. Like knock, knock, knock.
But the thing to remember is that you're here to help people. So if you really go to it and approach it with the idea of I'm here to help you, or not I'm here to help you because you're not trying to force a person.
I'm here to serve. Problem.
Yeah,
I'm here to serve. Yep. If you want my service, here it is. If you don't, that's okay too.
Yep.
And I can walk away because guess what? I'd rather spend my time helping people who want my help.
Yep.
I'm not offended.
And I'm not against even offering to connect you with a realtor. Like again, my job is to help you. Even if I didn't make anything off of that, but guess what that does? I can refer a person to a realtor that didn't want to sell at my price, and at some point that realtor can repay the favor by referring someone to me who property isn't ready to go on the market. So it's a networking all around. Like let me see. Proverbs chapter 11 verse 25. This is the NIV. Says a generous person will prosper. Whomever refreshes others will be refreshed. And that is true. Whoever helps others will be helped. Whoever provides the answer for others will have answers provided for them.
Amen.
So I want you guys to really go with that approach. So no matter what way you decide to reach out to someone, whether it be putting sticky notes, what message to put on a sticky note, the message that best reflects the property that you're at. If you know that you're here for a pre-foreclosure, then it should be something about how you can help this person with their pre-foreclosure problem, but actually have the desire to help them if you're going to write that down. If you're going to a vacant, then have a solution that helps with a vacant. A person with a vacant property, they're still paying property taxes. They may still be paying utilities. There's costs that's associated.
They might still have a mortgage on the property that they're paying every single month.
The property's still wear and tear is still happening on the property, and even more so with it sitting there. Like
because we got one we've been looking at for a bit, and we didn't contact the owner, and every time we drive by it, more windows are broken out.
And then it snowed and it's rained and all these other different things. So now that property is,
in worse condition than it was 3-4 months ago.
Yep.
So
the price is continuously going down on that property.
But they think it's constantly going up for appreciation, but they're not. You have to keep in mind that if you have a property and it's not water safe, is that what it's called? When you make sure there's no water can get in. I can't think of the exact word, y'all. Sorry, but when you haven't sealed the house so that no water can access it, then you have broken windows and they're not boarded up, and water is still coming in. Rain, sleet, snow, ice, you name it, is coming in there and it's tearing up the wood. Is mold. There's so many things that happen when water is accessing inside of the house. Dry lock. I think that's the word I was looking for when it's not dry lock. So if the house has all those issues, moisture and everything is coming in it's going to mess up the house. Period. There's no way of looking around and saying it's not going to mess it up when you got drywall and wood and all these materials that do not work well with water. Okay. And so the thing is that although the value possibly of the land is going up, the cost to repair that house is also going up.
Yeah.
Which means that I have to offer you less because I have to think about how much it's going to cost to fix it. So it went from, oh, well, okay, that window now is broken out and now there's water. Oh, well, you're probably going to have to replace the windows anyways. Yes, that is true. However, now that the window's been broken, all of this outdoor elements have now made their way inside and now has messed up the subflooring or the floors and then the subflooring. So now I have to remove the floors and the subflooring, you know, so it's just racking up a bill. And maybe it sits there so long that now it's really best suited as a tear down.
Yeah. Yep.
So I just want to say, if you have a home and you're looking to do something with it, it's better to go ahead and sell it and be done so you can get the most money out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But that's what I mean, when you're writing your sticky notes though, you want to make sure that it's matching what the person's problem is, you know, and you'll be good.
Yeah. If it's somebody who just lost a family member, I mean, I don't know the right time, I guess, to say when is the best time to go and talk to somebody who is in probate. But I honestly feel like if they're already in the probate space, they're probably okay with learning a little bit about how to get rid of the property. If you found out that there was a fire at this house and somebody died, and maybe the next 2 days isn't the best time to go and run over there and talk about selling your property.
Yeah.
But so just be mindful and think things through before you just go out there and doing it.
But at the same time, you don't know.
You don't know. I would wait maybe a month. Maybe I'll send a mailer out. Maybe I don't pop up at their house. Maybe I just send some mail to start with to warm it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. All right. The next question we got says local or out of state and contract question. Is it better to wholesale out of state or locally? So first I will answer that question. It really depends on the person and the area that you live in. We always say you should wholesale and real estate invest in your local market. There's no reason not to, because you already know your local market. Anything that you do outside of your local market is just added. There's nothing wrong with having two main markets. You know, you can do wholesale deals or real estate deals in Florida while you live in Tennessee. It is very possible, and that's what we enjoy. We enjoy wholesaling in our local market. We enjoy finding properties that make great investment properties in our local market. But we also look outside of our local market because it just opens our door for more stuff. You know, when we were in Nashville, our local market was very expensive. So it was a benefit to look outside of our local market for more affordable prices, but we didn't want to let go of we didn't want to just overlook something that was like a great deal in our neighborhood. Like right now we got a property down the street from us that's having an open house, and we was just talking about how we should have had a postcard go out in our local on our street because we could have got that property, and it's listed. They hadn't done any work to it. We probably could have got it off market, you know, and it's literally like 3 doors down from us. So
I would definitely say virtual wholesaling is alive and well, and don't be foolish enough to not wholesale or not invest outside of your area where you're comfortable wholesaling. If you're a wholesaler, there's really nothing stopping you. If you're looking at doing buy and holds, maybe for you it's better for you to be an hour or 2 hours out just in case anything happens and you feel more comfortable, especially starting off. But maybe as you get more comfortable, you find that 3, 4, 5 hours away doesn't matter to you anyways, because you set up a team of people that's going to handle everything anyways. Then for you it doesn't matter. So I don't think that we need to be stuck in one place or another, but I do definitely say that to ignore where you live and where you're already physically at doesn't make any sense.
No.
And to always have wherever you live and wherever you go. If you happen to, for us, if you live one place and you drive into work every day, then that also is your local market. So if you drive an hour out to go to work every single day, you can take different routes home. You can take 30, 40 minutes after work to drive around to see if you find any new areas. So definitely utilize all of your time appropriately, and don't miss out on where you already are going. Don't miss out on those times on vacation that you might find in a brand new market and brand new location.
In-laws, visiting your parents.
Yeah, get them in on it.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm looking at some stuff in my hometown because the town needs some stuff to happen in it, and I'm not against finding a way to figure out a win-win for it. But that's just additional market for us.
Yeah, and just be smart about it. I think that it make more sense. Local market. If you can get your family members in on telling you and sending you some, becoming your bird dog, don't utilize them as much as possible, but definitely hit up your local market. And if you're wholesaling or investing, I don't care if you fix and flipping, you can do that virtually. You can do this. You can do any strategy in real estate virtually, and all you need is your phone. Realistically, if you feel a little bougie, make sure you have a laptop.
Yeah. And even when it comes down to, like the second part of this question was, how do you get the budget and how do you get pictures, all that stuff. It's 2024. Social media is alive and well. If you need somebody to go out and give you a quote on doing a job, you can definitely coordinate that through social media. You can coordinate it with some local professionals who may go out and do a free appraisal for you. You can utilize the realtors like we talked about in the first question. If you get a realtor who's willing to go by and look at a property for you, they may be willing to do that.
Another good way is get on our Facebook group, KVWealthBuilders. And it's possible that somebody in the group might be willing to go and take those pictures for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So they might be willing to go and, do the walkthrough for you. So definitely make sure that you get on KV Wealth Builders on Facebook and connect with us and connect so that we can see what we can do to help you guys out. If you guys want to know more about this, like anything that you're thinking about or wanting to know, either get on KV Wealth Builders on our Facebook group. We'll definitely have a link below in the description. Also, you can put you can comment on this video, and we'll definitely look at and see if that's something that you want to know more about. We've had people all the way in Knoxville, which is like 4 hours from here, and we had the guy go in and take some pictures, and we
cashed the local handyman.
Yeah, we cashed out them with like $20 to go and take pictures, and he was a happy camper with the $20 because he felt like he made $20 to do nothing.
Yeah,
and we were happy because we got somebody to go in there and take pictures and do all this extra stuff for us for $20.
Yeah. And then we got his information from
the owner
or the realtor.
Because the owner,
that was her handyman.
The owner owned the property in Knoxville and lived
had a property here.
That had a property in our city we lived in. And so it was their handyman, and they lived around the corner from us.
Yeah, that's true.
So it was just one of those situations that, shoot. And the thing is that we'll be able to use him 10 more times for 10 other properties, because you think he's not going to be willing to make that same $20 for a 10-minute walkthrough? Now he's going to go ahead and take that 20, and we're going to happily give it to him, because in that case, one hand does wash another. Okay. Got another one.
We're going to take another question, and then we're going to get to the question of the day. So this one is someone who got their first property on the contract. And what they're saying is they got the property on a contract for $95,000. It's a renter. It already has a renter in it that's leased until September, and they pay $1,050 a month. They're asking $105,000 for the property, and they said that they're getting a lot of feedback from buyers, but most of them are saying that they will only pay $40,000 for a property in that area, and that they don't use the 1% rule around there because you'll lose money. Says they know that the area isn't the best area because it has some crime and low-class houses, but they don't understand if it could be a good deal or not. So I'm going to say, just because you got it under contract for 95 don't mean that it's worth 95. It really depends on the condition of the property. So like it has this person in there until September for $1,050, but what condition is the property in? Does it, because if you're gonna charge 105 for it, that's pretty much asking price with no wiggle room for repairs. So even if I was willing to pay 105 for a property that can get me $1,050 a month, it would have to be in perfect condition for that to really make sense. Now there are investors out there that this would be a good property for. You're looking for somebody who's looking to be a landlord, someone who's looking to purchase this property and maybe even manage it themselves. And I think that if you can find a person who match that criteria to be your buyer, if you can get into some groups in the local area for people who are looking for rental properties, then you probably can make this work. I would check also to see what the Section 8 maximum for the area is that you're looking at, because as long as a person who's willing to put it on Section 8 can make money on it, it could still be a good deal. Now, I understand that you may have to go back and ask for a lower price on this property if
rent rolls. I mean, you want to find out, is this person even paying the amount,
the 1050 that they say they're going to pay?
Because just because you said that they're paying, who is his tenant?
You
know, it's a lot of things that kind of go into the question, but
because there's a lot of risks that a person is going to take until September with a person who's in there, and then that's if they want to plan on moving out in September. So now, let's say that the tenant wanted to stay, I can only raise the rent so much, but I might need to get them out in order to get the rents up. So there's a lot that goes into that, especially with it having a renter in it.
It's not our favorite.
You're taking on, whoever's going to buy this is taking on some problems. The 1% rule, that's a rule of thumb.
That's a horrible saying.
And like it's really just like
it depends
like
on your
speed
strategy.
limit. Like the speed limit is 65, but you can go 45. Like the 1% rule is what a person is ideally what a person wants to pay, but realistically, I'd rather pay less than that because I want to maximize how much money I can make. Like somebody wants to make 2%, somebody wants to make 10%. They want to buy the property as cheap as they can get it so they can make as much money as they can make off of it. 1% rule is not really giving you a big return. So the problem with that rule is that people have found that they can buy properties in some other areas and get more return on it. Even in this area, a person wants to pay, and I would check this too. Our properties actually only selling for $40,000, and if they are selling for $40,000, again, what is the condition of those properties? Is your property in the same condition as the property that did sell for $40,000, or is it in better condition? If it's in better condition, then you can ask for more money for it. But you can't go over what the ARV in the area is.
And there are certain areas the houses are going for 40 and the rents are a lot higher than what the houses are selling for.
Yeah, but if you follow the 1% rule, now you're telling me that the rent would be $400 if I pay, $40,000 for it.
Yeah.
So is the rent really that cheap in the area? If rent is really $10.50,
or do you have a one-off person that you didn't, or they didn't raise the rents on them so long, and they just raised the rents and it got it up to that point, or is it a false that they're actually not even getting that much? Because if the rent rates in the area aren't showing that, then you really can't guarantee that you're going to get that. That person that's paying that amount might be paying that amount because they didn't have the credit, they were in a bad position, they need to hurry up and just get into something, and you were able, and that person was able to get milk the situation a little bit.
Yeah.
So you don't really know, but if the rental rates in the area are really running at $600-700, and they just happen to be paying $1,000, I don't know. That's not gonna really work.
And again, but unless you find out what the scenario is, and if that is the case, and the renter is willing to stay, then it could be
if they're a good renter.
Yep. Somebody be willing to take that renter on.
$1,000, but really they made it a trap house.
I mean, let's hope not.
I'm just saying.
But,
all right.
So hopefully we answered that question for you. There was a second part that asked for examples on how that deal could work. I think we gave some examples on that.
Okay.
And then do we think that you still have a chance? I think there's always a chance. Even if it doesn't work at the price that you got it on the contract for, you may have to go back and ask for a reduction in that price. Don't be afraid to ask for a reduction. Don't be afraid for the property to fail. Sometimes you have to know when to walk away. we were just reminiscing about that. We got nominated to be Investor of the Month for our local ring. And
real estate investor.
Yeah, real estate investor group in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that we one of the moments that we revisited was the time that Robert, who was the then president, I think, or Beverly was.
No, he wasn't. Yeah.
But he became the president of the organization for a while.
Told us to walk away.
He told us to walk away from a deal.
He didn't even say it nicely either. Like we were really in our
we got a little offended at first. We like,
walk away. We've been working.
Taking back, sir.
Like, wait a minute, no, we know for sure we can make this happen. He said, walk away. You do not have you are so new. You don't even like.
We didn't have a bandwidth for it.
Yes, that's what that's how he said it. But really, we didn't know that we didn't have the tools that we needed to make the deal work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so for us in that moment, it was better for us in our level of understanding.
Yeah.
To walk away because we couldn't handle what needed to happen in that moment.
And the deal did fall through, but not before we spent a whole lot of time trying to make it into a deal.
We heard them. It took us a few after
about
that.
2 months almost.
Yeah, it was because we got it. We didn't get it the first time, and then it fell through with somebody else who had it, and we got it. Then we dealt with all their mess, and honestly, I would today
dogs from the dog pound.
Oh my gosh, today I would have told us to walk away.
Yeah,
just because it wasn't worth the amount of time and effort, and it was a lot of mess that was happening amongst this deal. Even the realtor we were working that they had listed the house through was drinking she was drunk every time we talked to her. She was drunk. Her words were always slurring. So it was a lot of things happening. She was drunk.
We go, but hey, realtors are still okay to work with.
Yes,
okay? We're not saying your realtor might not be drunk.
Yeah, she told us that before we even visited the house, she had already told us how horrible the house was. Mm-hmm. Like, she was not selling that house. She was like, it's nasty. It smells bad. Be careful when you go. She was right. She was right.
She already had us like, okay, it might be overpriced.
Yeah.
But again, we had a soft heart. We was trying to. And not saying you got to have a hard heart, because that's not even it.
You just got to have a realistic
one. Yeah. We were trying to make something out of nothing.
We were trying to
polish a turd, whatever word you want to
polish a turd.
Yeah, we were trying to do it.
We were trying to help these people who were really just using. They really just they had a lot. They were using.
They needed a lot. They needed a lot more than we could offer.
Yes, we weren't at the level to serve them at the level that they needed.
And we didn't have the network at the time either. So I mean, there's one or two things that happen. Either you have the bandwidth or you got to have the network.
Yeah.
And we didn't have either at the time. We were new, and we should have listened. We should have walked away, and we could have had another deal on the contract way quicker. But we spent so much time on that one.
We hyper focused in on that one deal when we should have.
It was location, and we was like, oh, but it's gotta be
college.
It's gotta be.
Yes, and we came up with 10 different strategies for this property. Mm-hmm. But it is. Like, don't get caught up on one deal. If you got 10 deals, it's easy to let go one. If you got one deal, it's really hard to let go that one deal that you got under contract. But if we had 5 other deals to work with, it would have been easier.
Yep, definitely.
So, all right, what's the final question? Let's get there.
Can I close my first deal by the end of February? Ooh, we are on February 17th, 2024.
Well, we do got 29 days.
Yeah. So pretty much the question is,
we got an extra day.
Can I close my first deal in 14 days or less?
So what's the answer? Ooh, drum roll.
The answer is yes.
Yes.
I mean, yes and no.
Well, no, it's yes.
That you can definitely get your first deal on a contract in the next 14 days, and with the right buyer,
right
situation,
right title company.
Wholesale it.
Okay, the right buyer and the right title company and everything.
Because that's where you got to be the investor that has all of your ducks in a row, right? If you need a lender who can close fast, then that's all you need. We have a lender. We have lenders that can close in days. Like, we're talking about hours. We're talking about like you can get your deal closed in 48 hours if you want it closed.
Yeah, I can get you closed. Okay. Now here's the thing I want to say on that. Now so as a good investor, have multiple title companies. Okay. Yep. We got a title company. We love using them, but they slow.
Yep.
Okay. They are not going to close our property this week if we put in the paperwork. Nope. Okay. Nope. They are not. It's going to take them 10 days minimum. Okay. The title they just back. Not. And that's even if we got the contract. If we got the contract today and we submitted it today and they got to it on Monday, right? They are not going to close this week. Even if our buyer says, I got cash on hand, I am ready today. Yeah. They are not going to be ready, even if they could run title and do everything. They're not going to do it. But we have another title company and they're fast. Okay. And they're going to be, if we said we needed it done by Thursday, they're going to say, yes, let go. Okay. Not let's go, but let go.
Yeah. Okay? So you're right. You're right.
All right. So you as the investor, if you're wholesaling, okay, this is wholesalers, this is flippers, this is the investors, okay? If you already know that, that's why you got to talk to more than just one company, one title company. So that way, sometimes some deals.
Call them up and ask them, hey, listen, I need to close this deal. Fast. How fast?
How fast? Really fast. Yep. You need Jimmy John's fast.
Yep. I just was say that.
Yep. Okay. So it is definitely possible.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there fast.
Right. How fast? Boom, right here fast. Yep. Okay. So I want you guys to keep that in mind. If you are a good investor, you're going to have these things lined up already. So you're going to already know what contract needs to go where. Mm-hmm. Okay. You already need to have honestly, you need to have 2 to 3 title companies that you can work with. Okay. Because sometimes we got a title company that will do virtual stuff all day, every day. Okay. They are on it. They are ready to go. If you got somebody that cannot physically come into a title company, they're going to be my go-to. But we have another one that is that physical, local, been here, works with all the investors. But guess what? They ain't doing no virtual. Mm-hmm. Right. But they great for the person that feels the need to come in and meet somebody face to face. Yeah.
I don't really care about it.
I don't care. Just send me my money.
My check. Like,
no.
Can you direct deposit? Yeah, that's all I care about. I don't want to come pick no check up. Look, y'all don't see us posting no checks because we don't pick no checks up. Okay, I'm gonna tell you right
direct
now.
Deposit.
I don't want to have to come to your title company. I think the last time we went to a title company because we wanted the picture. And then we went up there to get a document because we wanted to take the document down that same day.
Yeah.
Other than that, we would not have done any of that. The whole thing that I'm paying, I will pay the title company more in fees to have them do everything electronic.
Ain't that
okay? Because I don't want look.
I don't
some
need
of the people
pictures.
That you're gonna do deals with. They selling the house for a reason. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's all I want to say. I ain't trying to slander nobody, but look, you gotta trust somebody to make it to the title company. Okay, we had a dude. Yes, look, we had a dude that couldn't even make it to the title company. Okay, like thankfully the title company was willing to send people out. They send them over. All that stuff. But, like,
yes,
man,
yes, you can't.
Sometimes people doing bad, man. And
I'm sorry, I shouldn't act like
no ride. Okay.
You know, feeling like, do I need to pick them up?
Right. Right. And again, I'm not saying don't do that. Like, if that's what you got to do to get the deal closed, but like, get a title company that can actually close.
Yes.
And most of them are going to work faster. They're going to have an online portal you can upload documents in. Yeah. So that goes back to the next thing, which is due diligence. Like, regardless, could you close a deal in the next 14 days?
I'm sorry.
You surely can close a deal in the next 14 days, but that don't mean to go get your contract for the next 14 days.
No.
You need to give yourself 30 days or more. You know, we normally don't write our contracts with anything less than 45 days worth of due diligence in it. And sometimes we will say 45 business days.
Yeah.
That's really too much.
Yeah, like, we didn't listen. Contracts are what you make it. Okay. And people will sit here and say, 30 days. Yeah, you can do 30 if that's what works for you. But if it depending on where it's located and depending on how many buyers you already have that's looking for that. But if the property has, like, we had one property we were working with, and it was a scrap yard. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so it had so much junk, so much scrap metal on the property that we needed more time. We were going to need to find a specific type of person who was going to have the bandwidth, the capability to deal with the project of that manner.
Tractor trailers full of stuff.
Yeah, it was a junk.
Yeah.
It was, I don't even know what you would call that.
It was a guy out there burning stuff in my dad's house. Then you're gonna work with some people, you're gonna be like,
okay. And don't forget,
it's my dad's house. He's out there burning stuff. And the lady was like, he's mad because I'm selling it. And he didn't even really know the dad. It was a lot.
It was a lot. So, but you know, even through, I mean, we've got stories for days, okay? And they're hilarious. And they're
hilarious now.
Yeah, but even in the moment, sometimes they were hilarious.
That was a few.
You know, and so I would say, I mean, we have that. I mean, still worst house was the dog house, y'all. Okay, where it was a foot of dog feces. Okay, we had to find the right buyer for that. And I'm gonna tell you what, we had
but that one closed fast.
That one closed like
fast.
that. Okay, let me do that again. It was
the second time we got on the contract, it closed fast.
Yes.
So it didn't close fast
okay,
the first time we did have it on the contract.
Yeah, I forgot about that part.
The second time we got it on the contract at a modified price with a modified
we had to renegotiate.
It did close fast.
We had a before we got into the property, we had it under contract. Once we got into the property, and the seller on this property, y'all, was trying to act as though he didn't go to jail, had like 9 counts on him, okay, for animal cruelty, okay. So the reality is that once we started to do our research into it and we realized the level, okay, the level of issues that was going on with this house, from the codes, from the feces, from his counts.
It was condemned. We wasn't technically supposed to be in it.
Well, we got yelled at from the codes officer, okay, a real police officer, codes guy, with a gun, okay. Nice guy though. But he was like, "You went in the house. Nobody's supposed to go in that house." Well, we did. So I just say that to say this is that you can't close Jimmy John fast, okay? You can close within 7 days, okay, if you can find all the right pieces that go together at the right time, okay? Mm-hmm. But the reality is that even if you can close that fast, by all means, close that fast, okay? And I have a scripture too for that, where it talks about, and I'll find it real quick. It talks about how if you can do something for somebody right now, do it for them right now. Don't wait to do it. Okay, just knock it out and be done with it. And that's, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure it's in Proverbs, and I'll look for it in just a second. And the thing is that if you can close it out really quick, close it out as fast as you can. If you need more time, set up your contract in a way where you get more time.
Yeah.
Okay. We just said 45 days. I just said business
and you can write in there that you're going to get an extension. You can ask for an extension on the contract.
We've had to ask for extension.
Communication is key. So if you're not communicating with the person, you want them to know that, hey, I'll close. I can close within this amount of time or sooner. That's why and one of the questions you always want to ask is, how soon is the property available? Because what you don't want is to set the time for 30 days and they really actually needed 30 days because they got to get some stuff out or move or whatever. But if you can say, okay, well, as soon as, I can close as soon as this date, as long as it's going to be available by this date, that works. Mm-hmm. And, while Vonnie is looking for her scripture, I did have one. Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 6 says, sow your seed in the morning, and at evening let your hands not be idle, for you do not know which will succeed, whether this or that, or whether both will do equally well. Right? And this is really an encouragement for continuous effort, due diligence, and to the ideal of closing quickly. Like, don't sell yourself short because you don't know which thing is going to work. Right? So you want to set your time so that you have enough time to do your due diligence, be able to explain that to your seller so that they understand that, hey, I need to have enough time for the title work to come back. I need to have enough time for inspectors to get inside of the properties. But don't be idle and not start broadcasting the property. As soon as you get the contract back, you should be sending it out to your cash buyers list. You should be sending it out to whatever your network is to try to get your buyer on there, because somebody's willing to do all of that stuff for you, and you don't know who the buyer is going to be at that point, right? Until that deal closes, you have no idea who the buyer is going to be. So don't be idle on the backside, right? You get the deal, you got it on the contract. Don't be idle. And this could be really just used for so many different things, right? Don't be idle in your outbound lead capture. Don't send out the marketing piece, but don't hit the people back. You don't know what's going to work. Yeah. You don't know what's going to work. You don't know what's going to fail. You don't know what has God's favor on. So, I think it was another verse in Ecclesiastes, either 11 or 12, where it says, everything that your hand touched, do it with all your might. So same thing with this. You got a deal on a contract. Can you close it in 14 days? Yes, you can. Can you close it in 30 days? Yes, you can. Can you close it in 1 day? Yes, you can. And you have to always act as if today is the day that I'm going to close this deal, because you don't know what's going to work. You don't know who you're going to meet. Your buyer could be the guy at the coffee shop that you talked about that deal to. Yep. So when you have a deal, make sure that you're doing the due diligence, that you're doing the marketing, that you're talking about the deals that you have, that you're letting people know. Because you can have something for sale, and if nobody knows that it's for sale, nobody's going to make an offer on it. So, and always be prepared to negotiate if you have to. Always be prepared to go back to the negotiating table with your seller if you have to. And like Vonnie said, your network is your net worth. So you want to make sure that you're part of a network that has access to a lot of different things. If you get a person who says, okay, well, I'm interested in the property, but I don't know if my lender can get back fast enough, you should be able to connect them or to reach out to your network and say, hey, does anybody have a lender who could potentially get back up to my buyer in the next 5 days? Because guess what? Somebody who does. Yep. You know us. Yep. Does anybody have a buyer who's looking for a property in this area because I need to close this deal fast? Don't be afraid to do that, because your network may already have the answer for that.
So the scripture that I was thinking about was Proverbs 3:27. It says, do not withhold good from those to whom it is due, when it is in your power to do it. Okay, so I'm going to go down a little bit further to the next verse, to verse 28. It says, do not say to your neighbor, go and come again tomorrow, I will give it, when you have it with you. Do not plan evil against your neighbor who dwells trustingly beside you. Do not contend with the man for no reason when he has done you no harm. Okay, so really what's that saying? Definitely go back and read that whole chapter. It's so good. So good. But what that is saying is, if you have the capability of doing something and it's in your capability to do it right now, why wait until tomorrow to do it? One, tomorrow is not guaranteed. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Tomorrow you can't guarantee that you're going to even be alive and available to do
the task.
If you are able to go ahead and do it
or
today,
they will be alive.
Yeah. If you're able to do it right now, just go ahead and knock it out. So if you're able to go ahead and sell that property and quickly and today or whatever, like you had already promised them, then why would you hold on to that?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you just go ahead and do everything that you could do with all your might, with all your strength, right? To go ahead and knock it out and be done with it.
So don't put off till tomorrow what you can do today. Mm-hmm. That is something that I think we all can take a lesson from. Trust me, we're still working on that very thing, not putting off for tomorrow what we can do today. Because
if it's in your power, see, the thing is, what it's saying is it's in your power to do it. Mm-hmm. So it's not that you're incapable of doing so. It's not that you didn't have the time to do so and to just go ahead and do it now. Mm-hmm. It's the fact that you decided to put it off until tomorrow. You decided to tell your neighbor to go and come again tomorrow. Well, who's my neighbor? Who's your neighbor? Everybody is your neighbor. Yeah. Who's your brother? Who's your sister? That's your sister and brother in Christ. Your neighbor is everybody else.
Yep. There you go. There you go.
All right.
So, yes, you can get your first deal done before the end of February. It is very well possible. Even if for some reason you did not close that deal in February, March is just one day away from February,
and
right?
we got
So
29 days.
Yep, yep. So even if you don't close the deal, you could definitely get your first deal under contract.
And on the way to closing.
Yep. So don't be afraid to do that, to get that work done. You can get a deal under contract this weekend, get it to the title company on Monday, and have it closing on Friday if you really connect the dots well. It is very well possible. We are not big fans of grinding and of the hustle and bustle. We've been trying to get less hustle and less bustle in our diet. So we encourage you to not hustle and bustle, but to work smart, to do your research, do your due diligence. Don't be afraid to reach out to people when you need help. We are here to help you. There are tons of other groups that are here to help you. Like we said in the first question, if you need help one-on-one, don't be afraid to get a mentor. Don't be afraid if you have the funds and you can pay someone to get you there faster. That's the reason why you catch an Uber rather than walking, right? It's the same concept. We just putting it into real estate investing. You can walk to your destination and you will get there at some point in time. You can watch as many YouTube videos for free and listen to as many podcasts for free as your time will allow.
You can market for free.
Yep.
You can do all these things for free. It just takes more time and more effort. And time you could be spending.
It's the most valuable resource.
Yeah, you could be spending that time doing something else.
Yep.
That could make you more money. Like you're doing a $5 an hour task and you're doing it for the next 10 hours of your time, but you could be doing something that will give you this higher value. That's more of $100 an hour task, and you could be paying somebody to do the $5 an hour task. Or you can automate the $5 an hour task. So you want to keep those things in mind. You want to utilize your time appropriately. You want to utilize your money appropriately, but most of all, your time is something that you cannot get back. Money, you can make more of that.
If you are a person who maybe you can't afford to pay for mentoring right now, that's okay. Your goal for the next 30 days, the next 14 days is to figure out how to get the money that you need to be able to do the things that you want to do. How do you become the person that you need to become to get what you want to have?
Or how do you, I'm sorry to cut you off on that, but how do you, not only that, but how do you get the money? How do you get your first deal as fast as you can so that you can get a mentor in so that you can accelerate it? Because maybe all you need is one deal, one wholesale deal, one. If you're flipping, you might already have a little bit of cash. If you're buying, holding, maybe you filled out a few strategies. If you aren't in those strategies and you have to start with wholesaling, because you can do wholesaling without any money down, without any, technically, I guess, skin in the game on that note. But how do you get there the fastest you can so that you can get to a mentor to help you, or how you can use that money to put back into your business?
Yeah. So that's really the key, is if you can't afford it, how do you get to a point where you can afford it? But if you're the person who's a fast learner and capable of learning just from watching some YouTube videos, then definitely do that. It's definitely possible. It'd be a lot harder to get it done in a short period of time. And there's no guarantee that paying someone is going to get you the results that you want either, because it really boils down to what you're willing to do. So, you can go out and pay 10 grand, you can pay $50,000 for a course, but it really boils down to what you're willing to do. We've paid for courses, some that we've completed and some that we have not completed. And that is part of the game. But one thing that I can't say is that somebody's course sucked. They sold their product at the price that they felt that it was worth, whether or not, it's no different than going out and getting a meal. You go, you buy the steak, you pay what they thought the steak was worth. If you thought that the steak could have been done better at home, then you can do it at home. You can go buy your own steaks, have them cut at the butcher. You can go and light the charcoal and let the ashes cook down, and then throw the steak on the grill and put it in some butter and baste it, and then throw it in the oven. And you can do that whole process at home. You will have yourself a delicious steak. However, it does cost you something. It costs you your time. You go to the restaurant, they do all that stuff for you. You don't have to smell like smoke.
You can enjoy it. You
can grill up afterwards.
Yeah, you don't have to do none of that. Now, if you enjoy it, then that's one thing. But I'd rather spend that time with the people I love.
Yeah.
So
Don't be afraid to network. Don't be afraid to get into the groups and ask the questions that you have. If you're gonna get your first deal done, whether that be as an investor who's looking to purchase a deal as a flip property, or if you're gonna get your first wholesale deal done, or you're gonna become a landlord in 2024, whatever it is that you have in the cards that you feel is your calling for the current season in 2024. It's time to start sitting down and writing that list out and doing the things that you need to do to become the person that you need to become. And we're gonna wrap this up. I think.
I think it's time. We got
dinner party
to go to.
And that's having our time. You know, like yeah, we got the baby, we got 2 teenagers that's gonna babysit for us.
Yep.
And we're gonna go have a dinner party because we value having time with the people that
we want to
to us.
We spend a lot of time with our family, and we like to spend time with our friends.
Yep.
And we like to decompress and have a good time. And that's what we're going to do. So we're going to wrap this up so we can go ahead and get ready. We got 2 hours to get ready and get the baby up. And
yeah. So we're going to end with a prayer. So, Lord God, we want to just thank you and just give you praise, Lord, for allowing each and every one of us to come together again for this weekly Zoom call, Lord. Lord, as we continue to progress through February 2024, Lord, we just pray that you will continue to work on us, continue to work on our minds, our intellect, our heart, Lord, and our desires, Lord. Continue to guide us along the path that you have already laid out for us, Lord. Continue to bring the people into our circle that need to receive our help and our capabilities and the blessings that you've already given us to pass on to them, Lord. We ask that you just continue to bring those people into our sphere, into our circle of influence, Lord. And Lord, we just pray that over this next 7 days as we get ready for our next time together, Lord, that you would just keep us protected, Lord, keep us yielded, keep us guided, Lord, and just let us know what it is that you have in store for us, Lord. We thank you. We love you. In Jesus' name.
Amen. I did have one thing before we close out is make sure that you guys are following us on Facebook and joining our community and joining our group. We look forward to hearing from you. Also, make sure that you find us on Instagram, TikTok. Kim puts up a lot of TikToks on a regular basis. So please make sure that you guys are getting on there. And we really look forward to connecting with you. And any topic that you guys are interested in, please let us know because we want to make the content that's going to be
right for you.
Right for you. Yeah. That's gonna answer those questions that you have, those topics that are on your mind. We are here and we are willing to serve you at our highest able to serve you. Okay. So if you have a question, feel free to drop it in the comments. And we really look forward to connecting with you guys. And we love you guys. And we will see you on the